Hey playmates, welcome back to our clubhouse. Happy July 1st, and today's play date is that we're going to be doing what I read in June. Y'all, I would say June was a pretty good reading month. It was really exciting because I planned it out. And it was super planned. I already knew what I was going to be reading. This was the month of my Lisa Jewell marathon. That was so much fun. And yeah, you guys can check out that video of my ultimate Lisa Jewell guide. I'll link it in the description box below. But yes, y'all, I would say June was a pretty good reading month. I read, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. So that's pretty. Go ahead, Maya. Thank you, mamas. So you guys can follow me on Goodreads. And my 2023 reading challenge is 41 books, and I've read 33. And I'm 13 books ahead of schedule, 80% done. That's what I'm talking about. So, the first book we read in June was The Girls in the Garden. Oh my gosh, y'all. This was by Lisa Jewell. As you guys know, this was not my favorite. It just was not. I would say just let it go. Don't read it. I gave it 3 stars. I'm glad I read it, but definitely not my favorite book. I wouldn't say this is a good reflection of what Lisa Jewell can, do. So it's all right. It was more so like about these kids. They were wayward. How much trouble they can get into, and it was had a bunch of allusions in the book. Did this person do this? Did they not? What happened? So we're gonna move on to now. This book redeemed itself, y'all. This book was a redemption from The Girls in the Garden. So it was Watching You by Lisa Jewell. I absolutely love this. I gave it 5 stars and yeah, y'all, this was giving me stalker vibes. So if you like stalkers, if you like Who's Watching Who, it's very creepy. Yes, ma'am, I really love this. It has some spice up in there. Yes, I loved Watching You. So if you like stalker books, this one will be for you, period. I gave it, like I said, 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. One of my favorites by her, period. The next book I read, y'all, I'm excited for this one. This was one of my favorites of the month. It's by one of my favorite authors, James Patterson. I'm so excited to tell you guys about this one. So this one is The Death of the Black Widow. And the reason I don't have a bunch of these books is because a bunch of these were library books. Y'all save y'all coins, period. So I'll be having the picture displayed. But yes, y'all, the fact that it's not a well-known book, it's like my little gem. But when I say this book was insane, it was insane. Like, I wouldn't even recommend it because there was so much going on in the book. It was very gruesome, very gory. It gave me she was pretty much like a man-eater monster. It was just wild. So yeah, if you like spooky thriller books, then you can read it. But if you don't, then I would not read it. But it was one of my favorite books of this month, and I gave it 5 stars, period. Really enjoyed this book. It was such a thrill of a ride. It was just non-stop action. It was just amazing. I would suggest you guys to read it during maybe like Halloween if you haven't read it yet, because like the month of October, that's what it was giving. I loved it. The next book I read was The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. This is one of my favorite books by her. I gave this book 5 stars, baby, period. This was so good. And then once we finally got to the juicy juice of the book, part 3 or part 4, that was wild. I know there's a second book already out. I can't wait to read that. That's called The Family Remains. Y'all, I can't wait. This book was wild. Everybody up in this book was crazy. Just had me on the edge of my seat, y'all. Woo! This was great. Great. So thrilling, and I just can't wait to read The Family Remains. And yeah, I loved reading all the different perspectives, especially Henry's perspective. Mwah, perfect. We were like, can we trust him or not? Because he kind of gave just weird vibes. Can we trust him? The next book I read was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. OMG, another banger, another 5-star read. It really shocked me. This was my first book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I was blown out of the park. Just blown out of the park. It was so good. It gave you 50s Los Angeles, gave you Hollywood. It was such a true romantic love story. It was so deep and profound. It made me cry at some parts. The ending was superb. The plot twist, y'all, had me screaming. I actually have a reading vlog of me reading this book, and it was at a certain point it was gasp after gasp after gasp, and the twist you just can't predict. All throughout the book I was thinking one thing, but I'm like, how can this be this? But yeah, once we finally get to the plot twist, y'all, wow. Yes, I love this book so much. It gave you a bunch of representation, and it was just a 5-star read, y'all, and that's on period. Evelyn was such a cool character to read about and get to know. Wow, this was such a good book. I would love to see this as a movie. I was just gonna be just thinking about this book for such a long time, because OMG. I don't know how you could give this book less than 5 stars. How can you not? It was such well written. I could pull out so many good quotes. The interactions with all the characters. I loved how the book was also separated, and I loved the names of each of the different husbands, the chapter names. I loved that it had these cool newspaper font in the book. Come on now, the headlines. It definitely gave me Gossip Girl. It was just amazing, y'all. Such a cute love story, just a lot of drama. Wow. This couple was really, it was just amazing. Just read it. The next book was Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. Oh my gosh, guys, I read this book in 24 hours. This was the conclusion to the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Oh my gosh, I just couldn't. I just love the Grisha universe, and wow, I just fell in love with the characters. It was such a bittersweet moment when I finished the book. I felt so empty and full at the same time. I didn't even know what book to read after I finished this book, because I really couldn't believe that I was finished with these characters. The ending had me. And you guys know the husband. You guys know the Darkling is my husband. Oh, he's just such a thrilling, sarcastic character to read about. Ooh, the power that he exuded. OMG, you can't touch it. The thing. Oh my god, like, don't even get me started blushing. So yes, wow. Leigh Bardugo just seems like such a cool author as well. I love her vibe. She's like she loves makeup and cats. And yeah, so I can't wait to read Six of Crows. But yeah, guys, like, this was just such a journey for me. And just, wow. Definitely, since it's a series, it's so hard for me to finish series because I don't know, it's so hard for me to finish something, like, especially when I love it so much. So yeah, but I gave it 5 stars, you guys, and yeah, one of my favorite series. That's what we're gonna say. The next book we have is The Music of the Night by Angela J. Ford. She's a Black author, and this was in the Tower A Knight's Tale series. It was really cool. Like I said, I didn't really know what to read next after I read Ruin and Rising, so I was just kind of scrolling through my Kindle Unlimited. I knew I wanted to read a Kindle Unlimited book, so I was just like scrolling through, and like, come on now, look at this cover. The cover drew me in. I was like, hold up now. So that was exciting. Yo, when I saw that cover, I was like, I need to know what this book is about. It's a kind of like a retelling of the Phantom of the Opera and Beauty and the Beast. So I was like, ooh, I'm intrigued. It was giving gothic, dark romance. So I loved it. And you have a Black female main character. I was here for it. I'll give you guys like a synopsis of it. It says, a haunted tower, a mysterious instructor, and the lure of the music of the night. After the death of her father, Arya is left penniless and destitute. To avoid working the streets, she becomes the ward of a count and moves to a remote town called High Tower. High Tower is a gloomy place with one vivid attraction, the theater. Lords and ladies come from afar to be seduced by a night of unforgettable entertainment. Many are warned to stay away from High Tower's dangerous enchantments, but as a warning, Arya is forced to ignore. Child, it was so good. It was such a quick read. It was something good just to, I don't know, I didn't want nothing really deep. I didn't want to kind of throw myself into one of my series right after reading Ruin and Rising, so it was a good little, dip my toes back in because I didn't really know what else to read. I gave it a 4-star. It was really good, and yeah, period. The last book that I read in June was the oh so popular Verity by ColleenHoover. OMG, y'all. This took me out. This took me out. Oh wow. Wow. I was not expecting this from Miss ColleenHoover. This was a thriller romance. OMG. She needs to write more thriller romances because I loved every bit of it, y'all. Every bit. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, only one episode while I was watching TV. I was like, oh, let me hurry up and eat so I can get right back to this book. I enjoyed it so much. I already stan ColleenHoover. I already love a lot of her books. I've read November 9th, Hopeless, Reminders of Him, and I enjoy all of those books. But baby, Verity was coming with the pressure, especially since I didn't know anything about the book. I was going in blind. I just knew that people either really liked it or really hated it. That's all I knew. Anytime somebody would start talking about it, I would fast forward because I didn't want to know anything. I didn't even read the back. So yeah. But y'all, Verity was so good. OMG. It definitely was giving me Hunting Adeline's long lost cousin vibes. Like, that's what it was giving. And if you did not know, I love Hunting Adeline because it gives me dark romance, it gives me thriller, it gives me mystery. Yes. And this is what Verity was giving. It was giving me mystery, it was giving me kind of spooky, creepy vibes, and it was giving me like spicy, crazy romance. It was so wild. Yeah, really loved Verity. OMG. That was good. And the ending, y'all, the ending was crazy. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really giving me like Lisa Drew vibes, but more romance. And I was thoroughly impressed by Verity. Okay, period. So guys, those are all of the books that I read in June. I think I'm really proud of myself for reading 8 books. And that's because I was, I planned it out. I kind of knew exactly what I was trying to read, and that helped. So you guys can definitely see what I'm going to read this month in July. I'm going to plan it out, and hopefully we can stick to that plan. And I'm just excited. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and bye bye.